Well, it's not the game that we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the season, crud, even the second week of the season. But it's Clemson at Florida State, kicks off in less than 15 minutes, so I'll make this quick. First, welcome to the show. I'm Brian. I'm glad you're here. I would have went live a little earlier, but I had some things to do. Been working all day. You probably have been doing the same. But I just want to get on here and talk about this game. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been coming here and enduring this, see, I got tongue tied trying to come up with something clever. If you've been putting up for me for a while, but for some reason you're a glutton for punishment, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. Hope you'll subscribe. It is free. Clemson at Florida State, when the line opened, it was like, 16 or something like that. It dropped down to like 14 and a half, or no, it opened at 15 and a half, went down to 14 and a half, and now right before game time, Clemson is now a 16 and a half point favorite going into this game. Most people believe Clemson wins this game easily. Former Clemson quarterback, former Oregon State quarterback, now might be former Florida State quarterback DJ Uiagalelei is not playing tonight due to a broken hand. Brock Glenn, the redshirt freshman, yes, the same one who had to start in the ACC championship game and beat Louisville. For some reason, when I think of Louisville, I always see the L and the S, and I go LSU, and I know better than that. But he got to start against Louisville. He won that game. Unfortunately, had to play with a depleted team against Georgia and got hammered in that game. What's his next start? Clemson, the best team they've played all season. Florida State Seminoles has played all season. So there's a lot of weird things going on here. I had Jesse from Plant the Spear on the show last night. And Jesse just said, he said, look, now he lives here in the upstate of South Carolina near Charlotte. He said, man, I sold my tickets to this Clemson Florida State game for like $35. I think that's how much he said, if my memory serves me correct. Folks, I want you to think about that. Clemson at Florida State ticket being sold for only $30. I mean, that's how bad this game is. So let's just step back here. Let's just look at this, and let's talk about the keys to the game, because it's going to kick off in just a second. Get in here, say hello to a few people. Jaden Butler's in here. What's up, Jaden? It's good to see you. Stoopsified, it's good to see you as well. For anyone who doesn't know, right now Vanderbilt is beating Alabama 30-21 with 2:53 left in the third quarter. Yeah, you didn't have a stroke. I just said that. So here we go. Parker Henderson, my old buddy. Go Tigers, my family friends that are diehard Florida State fans said, please blow us out. Parker, thank you so much. Parker not only subscribes to the channel, but you see that symbol beside his name, he's also a member of the channel. So he supports the channel $3 or $5 per month. Thank you so much, Parker. I do appreciate that. A bunch of you have started to join. I hope you'll join. It is... I made it really affordable so you can participate. So thank you so much. Michael Ward, go Vols, baby. It's good to see you, Michael Ward. Let's talk about the keys to the game. Look, Florida State's bad. They're a shell of history. And if you watch my show, you've listened to me even in the past, you know my definition of shell of history. But if you're new here or you forgot my definition, I'm happy to oblige, as Andy Griffith would say. A shell of history means you're playing a team that is historically good. They have the same jerseys. They play at the same stadium. They have the same fight song. When you look around in the stadium, you see the championship banners. You see some of the retired jerseys of the greats. But they are not the same team. And tonight, Clemson is playing a Florida State team that I think is probably in the worst shape of any team in all of college football. And you say, how? Because they were considered a playoff team. And now they come into this game 1-4. They're fresh off of a blowout from SMU 42-16. Boston College could have dropped another touchdown on them. They didn't. I mean, that would have been a 22-point blowout had they done that. But here's the key to the game. Clemson, you have a lot to prove. I don't care how bad Florida State is. I don't care how many points you've put up on these past three teams. Great, wonderful. I'm happy. I'm happy you're doing it. Clemson, you have a lot to prove. You have a lot to prove. This is a great game for the offensive line to continue to improve, to continue to communicate across the board, to continue to play against a team who is not their teammates. The guys across from you hate you. They want to take you out. That's good. You need that. Even though this Florida State team is not good, Clemson's offensive line, this is another game for them to shed the reputation that for whatever reason it may be, you want to talk about poor coaching in the past, you want to talk about injuries, you want to talk about maybe not living up to the hype of them coming out of high school, namely one particular human being I'm thinking of. Whatever it may be, whether it's merited or not. And I say that for that human being that I was just referencing just a second ago. I'm calling him out. Tristan Lee was a 5-star. And has he lived up to the the 5-star hype? No, he hasn't. Now, I don't know what's went on behind the scenes. It may be out of his control. I don't know. I'm not knocking the young man. You know, that's not my style. I will go after coaches because they're the ones who are in control, and they're paid a ton of money to be in control and to be an expert. But this is a great game for the offensive line to continue to get their crap together so the next time they play a good football team, they're not being overwhelmed. This is another game for Cade Klubnik to grow into a player who can play Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, Texas, fill in the blank, good football team. And you don't have to stop calling certain plays because, well, we don't know if Cade can handle it. Okay, guys, that's getting old. That is getting old. We can't be doing that and have championship football and simultaneously run around here going, Clemson's a playoff team. This is a game that Cade can really grow in a good way. Build some continuity with his wide receivers, young and tenured. These wide receivers have a lot to prove. I gave a statistic the other day that Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old freak wide receiver that's playing for Alabama, who had the game-winning touchdown against Georgia last week, he has this is off the top of my head, so these are not exact numbers. He has 16 receptions for 438 yards. Jeremiah Smith, the other freshman sensation wide receiver up at Ohio State, he has 18 receptions for 360-something yards. Bryant Wesco has only 7 receptions, but for 238 yards. That's impressive, folks. For you math guys out there, you're like, well, hold on. He only had 7 and that guy had 16. That means if you doubled his receptions at his current yards per reception at this rate, he would have less receptions, but still more receiving yards than both those guys combined. Not combined, but both of those guys individually. This is a great game for him and TJ Moore and anyone else who wants to be an X factor. Not only against these little terrible games, against these teams who the wheels have fallen off, like NC State, Florida State, App State. This is one of the worst teams in history for them, in recent history. It's terrible. When you want to go out there and you want to compete against the big boys, it starts in games like this. They've done it in the past 3 games. Stay focused, Clemson. Stay focused. Stay focused. Go back to the ABCs of football. Take care of the football. We can't be throwing the ball around. We can't be throwing the ball around into double coverage. There's no reason to. If they're giving this the run, let Maffa run it. Let Phil Maffa run it. Get the tight ends involved. We have a deep tight end room. They are incredible. Get them the football. That's what the NFL does. For the defense, continue to do what you're going to do. Big news coming out of Clemson just a few minutes ago. Shaq Lawson's little brother, Jaheim, is going to get, I think that's how you say it, Jaheim, will get his first college start against Florida State at defensive end. That is very interesting. Let's go in here, just quickly go through comment section, then I'm going to let you go so you can tune into the game. Vandy making UGA and Clemson look bad. Only plus side, Clemson looked bad. Game 1 in lights out since. Hey, yeah. Man, they quit a couple of games back. That's right, Dave. Achilles, go Tigers from Myrtle Beach. Beat the Cinnamon Rolls. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Myrtle Beach. Man, I never made it. Did I go to Myrtle Beach this year? No. I made it to Folly Beach, but I didn't I didn't make it to Myrtle Beach this year. Imagine FSU was ranked in the top 10 this year. Yep. Alex Porter, the game is Dabo versus the portal. Yeah. Gary Brown, goes Tigers. The season is Dabo versus the portal. Yes. Stoopsified, the Grant of Rights Bowl. Yes. Hey, listen, whoever wins gets to leave the ACC. I mean, providing you give the payout. That 17-year-old Williams for Bama is a dude. Yeah, he's something else. Michael Ward, this is a game Clemson should easily win, so handle business and win games you're supposed to win, and that is step one in the right direction. 100%. 100%, my friend. I mean, if you watch this show, you know my motto. Beat a bad team bad. You know how upsets happen? It's when you allow teams who has no business hanging around, you allow them to hang around. And then for that one moment, that one part of the season, something clicks on the sideline and everybody starts to believe. And they get in sync, not the boy band, but they become in sync. And that would be weird if they all started doing weird choreographed dance moves on the side. And girls started crying and screaming. And then you found out later on that there was some guy who put them together and he was taking all their money. Oh, I know too much about that. But anyway, they get in sync, they get to believing, and then they win that one game. And it's like, how do they do that? You can't allow them to hang around. So, folks, I'll see you at halftime. Go ahead. Go prop up at your TV. Clemson and Florida State kicks off. Real quick, say hello. Mind of Alexander. It's good to see you. Kalen's not as disciplined on his team as Saban was. Tiger Raven. Good to see you from Baltimore. Folks, you take care. See you at halftime. And as always, go Tigers.